Going to get started. Today, I have been looking forward to. I've gotten to know Trey personally on a couple of trips, and I think we love his wife 100 times more than we love him, but that's not an insult, it's just true. Um, Trey is probably one of the best minds with one of the hardest things that I have in this business, and that is AI and everything about it. So we asked Trey to come on, but we asked him to be very specific, and he told us, he goes, guys, if the realtors take notes and listen. He goes, I guarantee I can save them 5 to 15 hours with everything I'm going to talk about. So instead of me trying to talk about something I completely don't understand, because Trey, I still cannot spell AI, I'm going to turn this over to our VP of Marketing and our AI guru, Mr. Trey Rigdon.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonas. I appreciate it, man. Well, hey guys, to the 64 of you on, I'm incredibly excited to be able to kind of talk with you guys today about just AI in general. AI has been something that, I think for many people, it's one of those things that just you hear on the news. You may read about something that's happening. Oh my gosh, Joe Rogan was fooled by AI. I don't know. Okay. We all hear the random stories and whatnot. But I think very rarely do we typically see, hey, what are useful ways that I can implement this into my business? And so, guys, my goal for today is that we give you the roadmap to be able to taking back your time. Now, you heard Jonas say, because I literally told him like 5 to 15 hours. That's a wide range, right? You're like, whoa, Trey, why are you giving us such wide ranges? Well, listen, at the end of the day, I know that some of you may be a little bit further than the others. And so that's why I'm kind of giving you more of a realistic range on what this could do. And so let me go ahead and get started. So again, welcome guys. I am the VP of Marketing here at Summit Funding. I've been in the mortgage world for a little over 15 years now, working alongside, loan officers and agents just like you. And I've seen the grind firsthand, okay? The admin, the marketing, the expectations. And that's why today isn't about more work. It's about getting your time back. Before we dive in, I want to share a little bit, of things that are personal to me. Okay, this is my family. You see my beautiful wife, who loves to stick her tongue out while we're at the beach. Apparently, you see me and my kids over here as well. And yes, Jonas, she is way more entertaining than I would ever be. And then you see my kids over here as well. That's my family, guys. That photo of my son, I'm gonna use my mouse because you'll be able to see this right here. That's his name's Noah. And this is at Jockey's Ridge, okay? That is a massive sand dune in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. In this photo, Noah was 12, okay? He's now 13. That was taken a year ago. And in just 1 year, guys, like my kid has grown 5 inches. His face looks more mature. And I'll be honest with you, without trying to get emotional about this, this was honestly one of the last pictures where he still looked like my little baby, right? You guys know that feeling. I know many of you guys out there are the parents as well, and as you see your kids get a little bit older, you start to see that change, and you're like, who the heck is this dude walking in my house, being all loud and whatnot? But this is one of the last times that like I really kind of saw him as my little baby boy, my Noah bear is what I used to call him. And I can't help but wonder what moments did I miss because I was buried in work, stuck in menial tasks, or scrambling to be able to keep up with, just new marketing strategies. How much more time could I have had with that face if I had the right systems helping me? You guys didn't realize it was about to be a little bit of an emotional type of thing today, did you? Guys, I know that you wrestle with the exact same thing, right? And it doesn't have to be your kid. It can be other things that you're very passionate about. But every extra hour that we spend buried in admin work or marketing grind is an hour stolen from the people who matter most, of the things that we, cherish the most. And that's why today we're talking about AI, not as some shiny new toy, but as a way to be able to reclaim those hours and spend them where they matter. Technology has always been defined by its ability to augment our lives for the better. And it's time that we start looking at it that way. So let's go ahead and talk about some realities now that I'm done being emotional a little bit. That even got me choked up. I practiced this and was like, don't get choked up. Yeah, no, he's your little baby boy and he's older now, but like, screw that kid. He smells. Sorry. So let's talk about the reality of being an agent today. Guys, you are expected to be the a local market expert, a polished social media influencer. a savvy negotiator, a marketer, an admin, and the friendly community face all at the same time. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? You guys feel that? There's so many things that to be a modern real estate agent that it's so much. And the truth is it's exhausting. You stage homes, you post on Instagram, you write emails, you answer texts, you chase down paperwork, and you still feel like you're falling behind. I've had agents and loan officers alike tell me, Trey, I feel like I'm doing everything, but nothing is really moving the needle. That's the pain point. Hustle without strategy equals burnout. And we've all experienced that, right? You're working harder than ever, but it's not creating the freedom or the consistency that you want, and it's stealing time that you don't get back. If time is the one piece of thing, is the one commodity that we can't ever bring back to ourselves, we got to figure out ways to be able to start to augment our lives to stop stealing from them. So, I got good news for you. What if I told you that, like I said, I could help you reclaim 5 to 15 hours every single week? Many of you, I'm positive, would be like, yes, Trey, please sign me up. I'm ready to learn. Guys, this isn't some futuristic dream. It's happening now for agents who are using AI the right way. Hours that used to be swallowed up by admin work, endless content creation, and repetitive follow ups suddenly begin to open up. And the point isn't just to do less work, the point is to spend time or spend more time doing the things only you can do, meeting with clients, building relationships, closing deals, and yes, yes, Jonas, being home for dinner. Okay, being able to see your kid, being able to smell them when you're having to pick them up and all their other friends for the carpool, because somehow carpooling has become a thing in my adult life that I didn't realize that I needed, but it also smells. And so AI, guys, isn't here to replace you. It's here to augment you, to handle the grind so that you can focus on what matters most. And so now that we've set the stage, let's talk about what we're going to go through today. So first, I'm going to go ahead and I'll introduce you to a simple framework for AI prompts called REPEL. Uh, think of it as your shortcut to stop, wasting time rewriting bad AI outputs. I know some of you probably have dabbled in it up to this point. And so the goal here is to really kind of, really harness how to utilize AI in the proper way. We'll even use it live to be able to write a listing description in under 5 minutes instead of 45. Second, guys, we're going to build a system for social content using a content matrix. No more scrambling for ideas, just clear plans that save hours every week. Third, I'm going to show you guys how AI can take over the grind, helping with client recaps, follow-ups, and even scheduling, so that you can stop, burning time on repetitive work. And then finally, I'll give you guys a simple guide on which AI tools to use and when. And so by the end, you'll know exactly how to reclaim that 5 to 15 hours every week. All right, are we ready? Okay. If this was a live crowd, everybody would be like, yeah, okay. Digital, okay? Digital. All right, let's get started with the REPEL method. Guys, 6 steps that that turn your weak AI request into strong ones is what the REPEL method really does. Think of it as giving clear direction to an assistant. Okay, if you don't explain who they are, what you want, and what success looks like, you're going to get average results. And here's why: when you type something as simple as, okay, write me a listing description, the AI doesn't actually know what you want. It only knows how to pattern match from millions of examples it's seen before. So it defaults to like middle of the road, generic phrases, safe structure, and the kind of content that you've seen 100 times before. How many of you guys know when you see content that has been written by AI? It's very obvious and it's very much of disingenuous, right? But when you go ahead and you give it structure, a role, an action, context, and guardrails, it is a clear lane for it to go ahead and run. And that's when I think the results start to shift from average to professional and from generic to tailored. You're going to hear me say this a couple different times, but the goal of AI here is not to do crazy less work. It's to spend time really kind of focusing on smarter work. so that it can open up those areas where you're just dogged by countless hours of having to develop content. So let me break this down for you guys a little bit real quick. Okay. So role, this is going to be where you tell AI who it's supposed to be: a social media manager, an MLS writer, a coach, a therapist. Don't do the therapist stuff, or do it. I don't know. You know what? Maybe it's really good. Okay. Uh, define the role and set the voice and perspective of the response. Okay. A is for action, all right? So next, what do you actually want, the AI to go ahead and do? Write me this, summarize that, brainstorm, compare, draft, analyze. This gives the AI a verb to begin to work with. Next is prime. Then this is where you feed the context, okay? And so your details, the property info, your client's background, or even examples of tone that you want it to be able to emulate. Think of this as the ingredients before cooking. The next P is prompt. Now, like you'll make the actual request, and that's what we're really trying to get to, right? Be specific about length, tone, audience, compliance rules. I know that there's various different states that might give you some rules that you need to be able to work within when developing, your actual listings and things like that. This section under the prompt is your instructions of what you want the AI to do. Evaluate. Don't just take the first draft. Ask it to check for accuracy, to reformat, or to tighten. Think of this as your built-in editor. And then finally, L is for learn. Guys, I highly recommend that you maintain a Word document or a note document that you have on your desktop where you save your prompt templates so that they can be adjusted for the next time. As you continue to get better at utilizing AI, you'll learn new ways to be able to prompt it to add certain elements of your tone inside the actual prompt. AI is most powerful when it becomes part of your workflow and not just a one-off experiment. On a daily basis, I have one of three chat or AI tools open on my desktop. They help me flesh out ideas. They help me be a better leader. Okay, call it a coach, call it a therapist. Hey Trey, when that one person said that one thing, you don't need to get super upset about it. Okay, all right. Thank you, therapist GPT. So that's kind of the REPEL method. When you run through these 6 steps, guys, you stop treating AI as a gimmick and you start treating it as a real assistant. And I think that's the assistive capability of AI is what is most important. When you look at it as your free executive assistant to be able to help you process thoughts, to be able to augment your human capability, that is when AI is in its sweet spot. So we'll start to break down what this method looks like with some before and after prompting. Okay, so I went through and started to develop some of these that I put over here on screen. And so here's what a lot of agents do when they open up ChatGPT. They write something like, all right, hey, write a property description for my new listing. I need a nice MLS description for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Dallas, and here's the website. And there's a lot of people that have an expectation that that is all you need to be able to get something. And I'm going to show you what that output actually delivered. But below that, below that, you're able to see a little bit more. You're not seeing the vague prompt that you had above. AI, above didn't know the audience, the tone, or the compliance rules, or even what details to focus on. You'll only get something, like I said, generic out of this that you'll end up spending 30 minutes rewriting on your own anyways. And so when you look at the bottom one, this REPEL version, notice how we define the role, the action, and the context. We prime it with then look at the prompt. And finally, you can see how we've gone through and evaluated, have it going ahead and making some evaluative pieces, and we're asking the AI to learn. I'm not going to go into a crazy amount of detail on what saving things to the AI memory is. I think that's a little bit beyond what we're going to talk about today. But asking the AI to commit to memory some of the things that you are figuring out in your AI journey is a very smart way for it to understand your tone, what you do on a daily basis, and how you're using it. And so that's why, hey, save this for future listings is super important. This structure is what turns AI from a toy into a teammate, guys. And when we do this live in a few minutes, we'll see it take you'll see it take a 45-minute task and reduce it to 5. So if these were our prompts, what do they actually look like? As you can tell, like, hey, that weak prompt that we put together in the very beginning yielded the following. Beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Dallas. This property features a spacious floor plan, modern finishes, and a large backyard, conveniently located near a shopping center, blah, blah, blah. It's very generic, okay? AI is not here to just automate tasks for you or to do them faster. They're here to be able to, again, augment your professionalism. And so you see down here at the REPEL prompt down here, hey, welcome to this inviting 3-bed, 2-bath home in the heart of Dallas. Step inside and discover an open floor plan designed for both everyday living and easy entertaining. It speaks to the intent of what you want the future home buyer to be able to imagine when they're going ahead and reading this listing, right? I know that the weak prompt is something that's very generic that anybody could have on a property, and the REPEL version feels very tailored and polished and ready for MLS. And the crazy part is that it takes the same amount of time of typing to be able to create this structure over here. So let's go ahead and put this into a live action. Okay, we're gonna go and do a live demo right this second. So I don't want you guys to be like, Trey, you just put stuff on the screen and now you're gonna try to fool me. Fool me once. What was I saying? Fool me once, shame on me. All right. So let's actually go ahead and do this live. So imagine you have a new listing, and most people, like I said, they'll jump into ChatGPT and they'll write something very generic. Hey, write me an MLS listing for this property. And that's what, we just kind of saw how this kind of worked out on screen. And sure, it gave you something back, but it was generic, flat, and sometimes even non-compliant. So now let's go ahead and flip this through the REPEL method. And I have just something that I wrote right here that I'm going to copy and paste in. Okay. So I'm copying this in. So we are establishing that the role of the AI is an MLS-compliant writer. We're going to say that the action is to create a description. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit as well so everybody can see. We prime it with some photos. So let me go over here. I'm going to add some photos. Okay. Hey, write in 150 words, family-friendly tone, compliant with MLS rules. Check it for accuracy, and then save this template. Guys, I could have written this. You could have written this in legitimately 30 seconds and then uploaded a few photos. But let's see what it spits out. All right, so it's thinking, it's taking things into consideration. And so here it is. Welcome to this beautifully maintained 2-story home featuring an inviting open layout and timeless finishes. Step inside to find a bright dining room with elegant, I don't know how to say that word, crown molding and hardwood floors. Guys, look, this is all I provided, and then I gave it some pictures. This is my house, in case anybody was wondering. And I really do hate the brown that was formerly inside my dining room. It's not like that anymore. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't mention that in here or anything like that. But what we have right here is within a matter of literal seconds, guys, we were able to come up with a quick description that's captivating, that actually goes and achieves our goals of being able to showcase our professionalism in real estate while making sure that our home buyers are able to get the best information out of this description. And guys, you can go even further. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna start a new chat, okay? So I actually wrote something a little bit more sophisticated. So if you were to have just simply copy and pasted that prompt that I just put on the screen a second ago and uploaded photos, you saw what we got, okay? Let me go ahead. I'm gonna add these 3 photos again. These are just 3 photos. I know you guys have many more. But what I've done it now is I am saying, hey, you are an experienced MLS-compliant real estate copywriter. Write a compelling property listing description, and then I give a little bit more information. All right, I know that it's 4-bedroom, 4-bath in Fort Mill, South Carolina, with an open floor plan, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, a large backyard with a new fence. I give it a little bit more detail based off of what I know that any of you guys could rattle off pretty quickly. I prompt it by saying, hey, write a polished description under 150 words that is professional but approachable. Focus on lifestyle benefits. Okay. And then, hey, we need to make sure that we're evaluating it for accuracy, word count, and compliance. Let's look at the difference between what that looks like. Okay, it's thinking. All right, so here it is. This is a little bit slimmer. And so, hey, welcome to this 4 bedroom, 4 bath home in Fort Mill, South Carolina. The open floor plan is connected to a formal and casual living space, including a dining room, a large family room, and an updated kitchen with granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and a butler's pantry. Its spacious primary suite features a walk-in closet and private bath. And it goes on, and then goes through and talks about some of the other pieces about what it's located near. I'm located near the Charlotte Premium Outlets. I'm near a school. If I wanted to, I could have called out the school being, a 9 out of 10 rating as well. And I cannot remember what that is called, but it's all public data that it can actually work from. Now, maybe this isn't what you actually wanted. Maybe you wanted it to say something a little bit different. You have the capability of being able to go in here and say, I want you to focus more on the lifestyle uh, living. Well, let's say this. I want you to focus more on the family friendly nature of the city. I want you to talk more about the school, and I would like you to talk about other family-friendly things that are happening in and around Fort Mill, South Carolina. Okay, spelled that. There we go. So let's see what it comes back with next. As you can tell, it is going through, it is searching the web. It is even looking at Instagram. And so we get a much better polished piece over here. And what it also does is it begins to cite its sources. Okay. So we're starting to see like what are all these other areas. Now what we've done is we've really gone through and started to really make sure that this is something, again, guys, I'm talking to you while I'm doing this. I could have done all of this in less than 60 seconds and been able to get this listing out to be exactly how I wanted it to read. And here you're now going to see, hey, Fort Mill is celebrated as a family-friendly community, anchored by, this high school over here, known for its strong academics and STEM programs. Outdoor living, it brought in the fact that there's a massive greenway near where I live, where you can go horseback riding, biking, hiking, and it takes those local pieces and does the research on your behalf. You didn't have to go through and make sure that you knew everything about the community before you went and wrote this. And I think that's where a lot of this power currently lives. And so, really quick, I want to go and who has a listing? Who has a listing? They want to kind of see what this looks like in here. Anybody want to put a listing up that I can do a live demo on? You can throw it in the chat real quick. Just send me your MLS listing. And while you're doing that, I'm going to look through some of these questions. Yes, I absolutely believe it's being recorded. Hey, I can send you guys these slides and my awesome speaker notes. Does the AI platform or does it matter what AI platform realtors use? We're going to get into that here in a second about defining what different AI platforms do which different things. All right, let me go through. Ashley, I see you. I'm going to go and use yours because this is where it's at. Okay. This you? Even if it's not. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is you have honestly a great probably description right here that we can look at. I'm going to go through and I'm going to pull in this information. So let's go through and do this. Okay. So we're going to do the basic one again, but I'm going to give it some additional information in here. So we're going to create a listing. I want it to use certain photos, write 150 word. Here's some additional property information that we're going to put in here. So, oh, that didn't work. Sorry about that. Copy. I am simply just putting in information, as you guys can see. Okay. This is not backbreaking work. Let me see. Here's the address. So I use these vertical lines sometimes, just so you guys are aware, to be able to kind of break up content a little bit in here as well. All right, and then we're going to say something kind of like, please focus on the family friendly community. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to steal a couple of these photos. Is this a barn dominium? Dude, I want a barn dominium so bad. Don't judge me, okay? Listen, we all know that barn dominiums are dope. I bet, Jonas, you could build one in like 2 seconds. Okay, I want to take and look at the spacious. So the goal here is like, all I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to go through and hopefully this is letting me save these. Let's see. I'm just going to do 3 images. Hoping they all went
I
in.
think I'm in love with this property, Trey.
I, I bet you are. Oh, okay. Let's see. Did these work? Let's see if those actually worked. All right, so I'm gonna come over here, click add, and here I'm just doing 3 photos. Okay, just 3 photos. I do want to add what I wrote over here a second ago, though. Boom. Okay. So this is all we're doing, guys. We're not going ahead and writing a ton. I don't have a ton of time, and so I'm just trying to rip something out, but I want to make sure that it's really, really good. And I want to focus on the family-friendly community. To me, as a real estate agent, I'm all about family-friendly. It aligns with my personality. It's something that when I talk a lot about my family. I am creating an avatar of myself right now. I'm not a real estate agent, okay? And so like, but that's a part of me. Like one of the things that I do is I talk a lot about my family. And so like it's a natural way for me to bridge communication when talking with a potential buyer. Okay. It's so we're gonna say that it's focused on family community, even though this seems to be in a place where there's a lot of land and whatnot. I'm just gonna hit it and we're gonna see what it looks like. Okay. Also, Jonas, I am very much so in love with this property as well. All right, so set on an wide open acreage in Wills Point, this 5-bedroom, 3-bath offers both comfort and function for everyday living. This spacious 3,700 square foot layout is completed by large or complemented, can't read, by large outdoor living areas, perfect for gatherings. A private pond with fountain, multiple barns. Guys, this is pulling in from just looking at the photos that it has in here. Families will appreciate the community feel of Wills Point, with local schools, parks, and youth activities close by. The property is located on a piece of the countryside while remaining within reach of shopping, dining, and even town events. And so it goes through here and say that, hey, you went through and you've already written something out. Imagine just how that augmentation of having this be able to be written for you within seconds of your prompt, because all you're doing is copying and pasting. Once you get into the rhythm of this, it really decreases the amount of time that you need to focus on going through and trying to build one of these out. Now you can just copy and paste it directly from here and input it into your listing. Okay. So that's one of the ways that you can use the REPEL method to be able to really start to take back your time. But another thing, like I told you guys before, there is the capability of needing to find other ways to augmentate what you currently do. For example, one of the things that we know that you guys do on a constant basis, you got to manage your social media platform and whatnot. So let's talk about what that looks like. So, uh, who would have thought that like 10 years ago, guys, that posting consistently on social media would shift from being like this niche experiment? Hey, I enjoy posting. My friends and family like some of these posts. This is a cool thing to do, to a critical way of growing your business. You guys, listen, I can't see all of your hands, but if I ask for a raise of hands of how many of you know that people look at your social media, people dream about themselves in your listings by looking at what you post out there. You guys all know it. We know that that is a massive capturing point for the way that you actually go and build relationships and sell your social proof, right? Now, on top of everything else that you're in charge of, right? Everything else that you juggle, you're expected to also be a content creator. And that's why I built this framework. And so if you guys were on, I think like maybe a year ago when Jonas invited me in here, I talked about this social media framework, but we didn't talk about AI integrated with it. And so I built this framework for agents who, like you, who just don't have enough time to reinvent the wheel every single week. People aren't trying to find, listen, I do not believe that you need to be a social media influencer in the influencer cam, like thing from a TikTok to be able to grow your business. But what you do need to be for your local community is relevant. You need to be able to be somebody that they look to as an expert that is consistent. And the number one way you can really kind of grow that social proof is through social media. And so, this is your content engine. Instead of scrambling for ideas on a Sunday night, I've given you guys 5 simple buckets that you can begin to rotate through in building content for the week. And so, hey, listen, buyer education. This answers the fears, objections, and questions that buyers are asking every single day. Guys, they're putting that information out on the internet. It's all out there. We just need somebody to be able to go ahead and begin to curate it. Hey, current listings and showcasing, or current listings that showcases inventory and lets the market know that what's available. Community engagement shows that you're not just selling homes, but you're invested in the communities in which you exist. Market insight positions you as a knowledgeable guide because trust is built on expertise. And then your personal brand. Remind people why they want to work with you, not just any other agent, and what makes you special. Your love for family, your love for sport. All right, Jonas loves the Mariners. What are ways that you can tie down with potential clients? Personality wins. So, here's where AI can make things even easier for you. You don't have to sit here and sit down and manually brainstorm every single week. We'll take the system, pair it with the REPEL method, and suddenly content creation goes from stressful to sustainable. So let's walk through what that looks like, okay? So let me get, don't we love live demos? Live demonstrations are always solid. Okay, bring back my piece over here. And so, okay, I'm going to give you guys this here in a second. I'm going to give you a QR code. Please know I have not tested this QR code. I do have the PDFs and I'll just throw them inside the chat if I need to. But I've gone ahead and developed what I call the idea generation framework. What you'll see here is that the columns are your audience and that the rows are your categories. We have page 1, which focuses on brand awareness, page 2 on education, and page 3 on entertainment. So who doesn't want to be entertained, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to apply the REPEL method to trying to develop, let's say, 5 social posts, okay? So I'm going to go through and I'm going to write out the following prompt. So we're going to focus on the quadrant that is potential home buyer. What do we say over here? We're going to do potential home buyer and on buyer education. So it would be over on this one over here. So that's really going to be what we're really kind of focusing on off of that page. So think of it as an X and Y axis. We're just going to go through and develop different content pieces. Because things don't want to copy and paste well for me today, I'm just going to go through here and enter down on a couple of these so this actually looks and makes sense really quick. I apologize for not getting that up and running. Prompt. Okay. Evaluate. Learn. This is what happens when you copy and paste from your speaker notes, okay? So your role, Mr. AI, is you are a social media content strategist for real estate agents in Dallas, Texas. Let's use that for example, okay? We're very specific about who the person is and where they are serving. This simple amount of context gives the AI the ability to know, hey, maybe I need to pull in more information about Dallas. Maybe I need to pull more information about Seattle, Fort Mill, South Carolina. Name where you want to go ahead and get that information out. Action. I need you to generate some Instagram post ideas. We're going to prime it. Focus on potential buyers who are early in their journey. Prompt. I need you to create 5 engaging posts ideas for the buyer education bucket. Each should answer a common buyer question and be written in short form conversational style. Evaluate. Ensure that these ideas are clear, actionable, and don't just contain jargon. I don't want bull crap. inside what we're actually posting out here, and then learn this structure for me. So let's see what it comes up with. While it's doing that, again, you could do this exact same thing by going, I want potential buyers, financing options, potential buyers, market analysis, potential buyers, home buying steps. What I have in here, guys, is an entire litany of different types of audiences and content that you can provide to them. So, very quickly, rather than sitting there on a Sunday night where you could be watching a new episode of Only Murders in the Building, okay, on Hulu, or Working Moms. That's currently what me and my wife are working through right now. Now you have 5 different social media posts, okay? So here's one. How much do I need for a down payment? When's the right time to buy? What should or what cost should I expect besides a down payment? And you start to see all of this information really start to build out. Now, there's a couple different things that you can do with this information. Number one, you can go to Canva and you can start to design something. I don't think that AI is where it needs to be for it to make you a custom graphic yet. Okay. Let me just be very clear. As a former graphic designer in my career, that's not what I would do. Now, some people might, and it works for them. And you can find that, again, that there's a lot of efficiency gain that you can do here. But maybe you want to do video. We know that video clips on social media at a much higher rate. Maybe you're not comfortable, but hey, you would be more comfortable if it was a script. Okay. So let's take this post idea 5. Let's just say, I would like for you to create a 60-second video script. I can type based on idea number 5 for me to record on my phone and post on IG. Okay. So maybe you're over here and you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do? Well, I guess I'll go through here and really kind of start to break this down. And so what it does is it gives you a clever hook. Hey, ever wonder how long it really takes to go from making an offer to holding the keys to your new home in Dallas? Let's go ahead and break it down. On average, most closings take about 30 to 45 days. And it goes on and on and on with a clear call to action, with clear tie downs over here so that you're framing your message and you can continue to, really turn this into your voice as well. So it sounds a little bit more like you as you're going ahead and recording. This is a simple exercise utilizing a content idea generation matrix that you could then turn into multiple different scripts that you could then turn into, different ways to be able to create social media content at scale. Now, maybe you are somebody that wants to utilize the, really the generative AI around, content and whatnot. Again, I don't recommend it, but you could also go over here and say, hey, please take idea number 4 and create a social graphic for me. All I'm doing is I'm talking to it like my assistant, right? It's already gone over here and it's starting to look, it's gaining or doing cool things, getting started, building. You're going to give it a second. Maybe a few seconds. I have some other ones in here. I definitely did, because I was trying to mess around to see if I could make this work, where I definitely did have my dad, who I was trying to make fun of. And I did pictures of him, and it was really great. We're going to give that a second. I'll come back to that here in 1 second. We'll see what that actually looks like. But as you guys can tell, by going ahead and simply utilizing that idea generation framework, it gives you the ability to use AI and the REPEL method. Here's what it came up with. Again, it's not terrible. You can still sit here and you can refine this image again, but it's generic, and everybody can kind of tell it's generic, right? And so I wouldn't necessarily go down that path. But what you can do is use it to really kind of record a good amount of video as well. So let's look at what that idea generation kind of really does. I don't expect you guys to memorize that PDF. And so again, I don't know if these work. I have not had a chance to test it. If they do not work, then I'll go ahead and I'll put it inside the chat, or we will go through and have Jonas and team kind of send it out and whatnot. That's why I built this free tool, guys, for you guys to be able to go ahead and download it, drop it into your systems, and then you're ready to go. All right, this is the same framework that, like I said, I just demoed. And so what you'll get is both a PDF version for quick reference, and then you'll get an Excel sheet if you want to go ahead and start to plug in content or the prompts for each of those different areas as well, so that you can use it to be able to batch content, hand it to an assistant, or even use it as a checklist for yourself. The goal here is that there's no more guessing, no more scrambling. You always know what to post and who you're posting it for. Does that make sense? Saving time. I'm gonna give you guys a couple more seconds on having this thing up and whatnot. And then we're going to keep on moving. Like I said, I will go ahead and provide provide this as a resource as well. All right. So here's where, the time saving gets real, guys. These aren't just like abstract hacks. They are practical moves that you can use today, and so that you can start to like think of this as your real estate cheat code at the end of the day. And so we're going to talk through really quick. Hey, how can I use AI to be able to focus on client consultation recaps, personalized follow-up on email, and a deeper level of local research? So this is the first of the cheat codes I'm going to provide you guys really quick. And again, we're going to send this out so that you're able to have the prompt that I have right here as well. But after a buyer consultation, most agents spend 20 to 30 minutes writing a recap email. Here's honestly the shortcut. Record your meeting on Zoom or Teams. Or if you want to go ahead and invest, I think it's like 100, maybe 150 bucks. There is a tool called Plod AI, which is a little square disk that automatically records your meetings and has the capability of transcribing those. Copy the transcript, and then you would paste it here at the bottom of this prompt and run this REPEL style prompt. And within 90 seconds, you've got a professional, warm recap email that reminds your clients that you were listening, right? That lists out their next steps and positions you as organized and on top of things. What used to take a half hour now takes 2 minutes. That's all you got to do. I think this one is one of my favorite. Guys, I actually use this all the time. Sometimes I don't want to come off as crass when, Jonas over here is asking me for like 5 different million marketing assets and whatnot. And so, hey, I want to be able to say how do I use this method to be able to talk like a respectable VP of marketing so that Jonas always still loves me and whatnot. And I believe that that's something that you can capture when you utilize this REPEL method and then just paste your transcript. It'll take all of that information and it'll contextually build something for you. Let's look at another example. Here's the next cheat code. So like this one is honestly a real game changer. And when it comes to follow-up emails, most of us either, let's be honest, we either procrastinate or we send something that feels rushed or generic. And what does that do for the client experience? Instead, here's the system. Inside ChatGPT, you can go ahead and start a project. I'll show you guys this really quick, okay? I'm gonna deviate from my notes real fast while we're going through. Well, I'll show you this afterward. You'll go through and you'll start a project. Projects basically are contained chats where you're able to make sure that it really takes in the context of what you prime it with and all of the different chats that are within inside that overall project. I lost my place where I'm at. Okay, so this keeps, like I said, all of your follow-ups, your drafts, and your past prompts organized in one place so that nothing slips through the cracks. Then what you can do is you can layer custom instructions into that project. And so you can literally train ChatGPT once on your voice, your tone, and the way that you phrase things, even little phrases that you use. And from then on, every draft that it generates will sound exactly like you. So let's make this real for you, okay? If you want ChatGPT to sound like you, there's a few steps that you can go ahead and do. Give it examples, okay? So we're gonna go through here and I'll start a project for you. Ignore all of my other projects. Also, yes, this is the research that I did for this presentation. So I'm gonna go over here and click new project. I'm gonna call this email responses so I sound professional. Okay. Sometimes we just gotta like just be honest about what we're trying to solve here. Okay. So I'm gonna hit create project. And then what I see over here is I see add files. Now, what I suggest that you do over here is that you take a few minutes, go look at some of your old emails, some of the ones that you're really proud of. Go look at some of your old newsletters that you wrote in the past as well. Ones that you feel like you really kind of nailed, marketing pieces that you've written, listing descriptions, and even social captions, notes from buyer or seller consultations. You can take all of that information and you can save those as either Word documents and you can place them in here. Then you can come over to where it says custom instructions. Oh man, sorry about that. You go over here where it says custom instructions. Let me pull that back up. And this is where you can go ahead and tell it exactly how you want it to respond. I could paste in here something like, um, uh, uh, always write in my voice, warm, approachable, and professional. Use plain language, short sentences, and avoid industry jargon. I want clients to feel like I'm talking to them directly, not sending them a template. That's something that you can put inside of here. You can also write something like, hey, I'm a real estate professional. My clients value trust, clarity, responsiveness, and I want my communication to feel personal, personal but polished. This is the area that you would really focus on telling the AI exactly how you want it to work within the way that you want it to sound. Okay. So then once you have your files added that represent how you have written past content, and once you have your instructions set up, you now have the ability to go in here and say, hey, Jonas said this to me. I don't know how to respond because I want to make sure that I sound professional. Help me with this response, and it will literally draft you a response. I would show you some of mine, but nobody wants to see those, right, Logan? You're on my screen as well. I see you. So that's one of the ways that you could go ahead and add that level of professionalism in the way that you go ahead and write content, write emails back and forth. Again, we're talking about cheat codes to be able to save you time. I want to make sure that I'm not responding to this loan officer over here that doesn't understand my plight. I want to make sure that I'm not responding to this borrower in a way that's going to get them to, potentially leave this transaction with me. And so you go over here and you say, you're my personal executive assistant. Draft a follow-up email for a client who toured a home with me today. Use the details below from the showing. And so maybe you're taking some of the notes that you took and you're putting it down here. Write a friendly but professional follow-up email that highlights the property, the address, and the client's preferences and suggested next steps. Keep it in my voice. And so now what it's going to do is it's the AI within the project is going to take in consideration this prompt, the information that you just primed it with for context. It'll take into consideration things that you've written in the past and how you're instructing it to sound when you write content. And it's creating something that sounds like you. No more sitting here trying to make sure that you're polishing an email to be able to sound the way that you want it to sound so that you don't lose business. Once that's set, every draft that ChatGPT produces, whether it's a follow-up email, a listing description, or even a thank you note, sounds like you. You're not fighting a rewrite AI copy into your own voice. Hey, I don't sound like that. I don't say these words. All you're doing is proofreading, tweaking, and hitting send. All right, next one up. This cheat code turns AI into your research assistant. So let's say a client is considering moving into a new neighborhood. Instead of spending hours Googling for stats or pieces or piecing together half-baked answers, drop the neighborhood into this REPEL style prompt. ChatGPT GPT-5 will scrape the latest data, highlight trends, schools, and lifestyle insights, and give you a polished client-ready overview within minutes. And here's the key, guys. Like, you still verify the facts, okay? I cannot express that enough. Like you saw a second ago, when I went over to have it cite some of those sources, it gave me those links. Click those links. Make sure that they do bring up the right things that you want it to talk about from a community standpoint. Deep research, when you go ahead and you pay for ChatGPT Plus, I believe you get, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, and I apologize for that. So if anybody does know and wants to drop that into the chat, you can really quick. But you get, I believe, on a daily basis or a weekly basis, X amount of deep research search results. And it'll go through and it'll really go and do a deep research project on exactly the plight of the area that you're looking to research, the different local attractions that are happening in here as well. It'll do the heavy lifting. And this isn't about replacing you. And be very clear. It's about giving you your time back so that you show up as the trusted advisor for the client. Now, as powerful as ChatGPT is, it's not the only tool in your toolbox. And so I know there was a question around this earlier. So there's different tools that shine in different situations. For example, Perplexity. It's one that I use often. Think of it as ChatGPT's cousin that's obsessed with citations. Okay, it pulls real-time information directly from the web and social media platforms and shows you the sources that you can click through. And that means that if you need today's housing inventory numbers, breaking down market trends, or hyper local insights, Perplexity is a great place to be able to start from a research perspective as well. And so let's go ahead and compare that with ChatGPT and kind of look at what some of these tools really look like. The key takeaway, guys, is that you don't need to just pick one AI. You match the right tool to the right job. And so let's clear up some confusion because not all AI is built the same way. ChatGPT 5 is your daily driver. This is going to be for listing descriptions, recaps, emails, social posts. It's the one that can sound just like you, especially once you've set projects and custom instructions into it. Claude is one that I've been using pretty heavily recently, is your heavy lifter. When you've got a long transcript, a thick contract, or pages of market research, Claude is the one that you feed it to. It holds more context so that you don't have to chop things up when you're going through and trying to go through and do a deep research project. And then there's Perplexity. And Perplexity is your research scout. It's not just ChatGPT with search. It pulls real-time info from the web, gives you those sources, and even pulls in from places like Reddit, which is important because there's a lot of people that talk on those types of different social platforms. This grassroots is gold, guys. What buyers really want and sellers really want, they're talking about it right now. And if you want to know what questions are surfacing in the market this week, this is where you go. And so here's the bottom line, guys. You don't need to be loyal to one tool. Think of it as a team of AIs that are surrounding you. Use ChatGPT for workflow, Claude for long form, things that you're trying to break down big concepts around, and Perplexity for the pulse of the market. And together they cover every angle. So let me start to kind of like wrap up here, guys. Here's where the rubber meets the road. If you walk out of here today and don't do anything in the next 24 hours, this will just be another webinar that you watched, right? But if you do these three things, you'll start to find momentum and ways to integrate this into your daily life. And so, number one, install ChatGPT on your phone. Okay, it's a free app. You can take advantage of ChatGPT and then begin to upgrade from there. Make it accessible to your daily work life. Number two, use the REPEL method in one listing or one social post. Just do it once this week and see what that does to your time gain and efficiency. Save those prompts into a particular folder on your desktop because the magic is in reuse. Every time you use it, that's time that you save and that you stack up. This isn't about learning everything at once. It's about building on habits that compound. All right. So yeah. Oh, wait a second. Sorry, guys. There we go. I was like, why didn't the screen change? This is the payoff, guys. With the right prompts and the right tools, you can save anywhere between 5 to 15 hours, like I said in the very beginning, every single week. And what would you do at that time? Right? What would you do at that time, Gina? I see you on the call. Would you have more showings? Would you have more listings? Or maybe a few more dinners with your family, guys? At this point, AI isn't about doing more work. It's about getting your life back while still growing your business. And so, guys, you've seen the proof. I've sent you the tools. You can take advantage of those. Now it's time to take your first step. And so AI isn't here to replace you. Let me just reiterate that again. It's here to augment you and take the grind off of your plate so that you can show up where it really matters. So do me a favor, try the REPEL method on just one of your listings and one of your social posts this week. See the time that you save, and once you do, I swear to you, you'll probably never go back. You'll keep ChatGPT opened on your daily desktop and on your phone. Guys, your business, your time, your move. So that's what I got for you today. Jonas, We can turn it into Q&A. I know I took us up to the hour. Didn't mean to, but that's where we are.
So let's do Q&A, guys. If anybody has to jump off, we completely understand. Trey, what are your thoughts on Copilot?
Oh, Copilot is using ChatGPT 5 as well. Do we have anybody from Summit's IT team on right now? No? Okay. We're just gonna say with a no. I like to keep all of my stuff inside my own ChatGPT instance that I pay for. So yeah, definitely Copilot works and whatnot. I think that you'll get some of the same results. If your company is starting to integrate like additional job aids and things like that into the knowledge base that Copilot has access to, that's a really good tool to be able to, find resources very quickly. But it does use ChatGPT 5. And so I think that it's an actually really, really great tool. I like to keep all of my stuff in my personal database.
Trey, is there any charge for ChatGPT 5?
There is a chart. So you have ChatGPT 5 that's available for free for everybody. You have ChatGPT 5 Plus, which gives you, it lets you have greater access to deep research. It lets you get a couple more benefits and perks like that. And that's only, I believe, like $20 a month, if I remember correctly. I don't tell my wife. I pay for it, and I don't remember how much I get charged for it. But I think it's like just minimal, like $20 or something minimal like that for ChatGPT 5. There is a larger one called ChatGPT Pro, which is $200 a month. Unless you're trying to go ahead and like really, solve a medical problem, you don't need ChatGPT Pro. Okay, let's just be honest.
So, Trey, can you touch more? I had to put it in the screen, but Plod has changed my business life. My team actually likes me now instead of trying to guess what's in my head. Please touch base more on Plod because it's the one tool that, since they made me use, I will never go away from.
Dude, Plot is awesome. Like, so again, there's a couple different pieces of hardware that you can buy. There's one that I think is like a necklace that literally, once you turn it on to record, what it'll go ahead and do is it'll record directly your voice and anything that's happening around you. And it'll start to partition those elements off. There's also a card that you can bring. So it's a little, probably, card about this big. There it is. That what it'll do is that tool will go ahead and record and transcribe your meetings and whatnot. And it'll upload that into the cloud so that you then have access to be able to go copy down that conversation and put it back into some form of AI to be able to synthesize what was talked about, determine what next steps are, and then be able to set next action items as well. Yes, don't forget to ask for permission to record. I think that's a good note right there as well. We don't want to, freak anybody out.
Trey, last one, just to respect your time too, sir. What were your instructions for setting up Chat GPT to make it sound more like you?
Yep, great question. So there's two different things that you can do. I'm going to bring back my piece over here. We're going to kill that. If you build a project, okay, so say you want to have a project that is only for email responses, what you can do is you can go over here into the custom instructions. And this right here is where you can say, hey, this is how I want it to respond. Say you are somebody that is working with a lot of Spanish speaking buyers. Maybe you want to make sure that it helps you immediately, write, and respond in Spanish. You can go in here and direct the dialect and different things like that inside the platform when you do your custom instructions. In addition to that, you can upload example files of how you've responded in the past that you felt like you really knocked out. Now that's going to help you within the project. Now, if you want all of ChatGPT to be able to take into that context, if you go down to your settings and you come over here to personalization, you can go through here. You can see what your managed memories are. This is going to be things that it memorizes about you. So if there's things like, hey, I am a VP of marketing. I've been an executive for 5 years. I've been doing mortgage marketing specifically for 15. If there's things like that, that it'll automatically start to pick up that you're able to go through and start to really kind of customize and tailor some of these instructions around. There is also, where is it at? Hold on 1 second. Theme, accent, spoken voice. I'm trying to remember exactly where it's at in here, where you can go through. It's not in manage memories. Oh, there we go. Custom instructions. If you click that, this will give you, hey, what do you do? So it'll let you go through and explain what you do. What personality should ChatGPT have? What traits should ChatGPT have? For me, I want it to challenge me. Sometimes ChatGPT can appease you a little bit, and I want somebody that's more of an executive assistant to challenge me. And so you're an expert with a backbone, is what I put inside mine. You don't just agree with me, you challenge me. And so there's other things that you can kind of put in here. And this is going to globally set how ChatGPT responds to you as well within here.
All right, guys, I want to respect Trey's time. Thank you very much, Trey. A lot of people are asking, is this recording going to be available? Yes. The loan officer that you invited with you or the loan officer that you found this from Summit Funding will be sending it out. Make sure you send them a note and they can get you the recording. Guys, we do have the mastermind every third Thursday of the month. And please remember the next level coaching retreat is coming up in October. We will have a lot more information about that. It is an event for realtors and for lenders. Trey, do you have the dates on that off the top of your head? I think it's October 26th and 27th. Is that correct?
I just put the website
Oh,
inside.
there we go.
Yep.
Real
I
estate
believe it
agents,
is.
it's a major event for both lenders and realtors. Marjorie Adams will be on stage coaching, Bradley Hanson for real estate agents, and many, many more. Trey, any insights on that?
We are super excited. We have a special guest speaker that we have on the line that I'm not allowed to say yet because I haven't paid the money, but is a very amazing leadership coach that could potentially be doing some main stage action, maybe some book signings, and we'll go through there. But all information that you're going to want to be able to see about this event will be on 10xsalessummit.com. From there, you'll be able to go ahead and see when we start to release those new speaker lineups and different things like that. We're super excited. We're in Phoenix, Arizona, which is going to be awesome at the Wigwam Resort. And so it's also a beautiful location.
Trey, we're absolutely honored to have your time. Thank you so much for